up, guys? Good morning. It is another day. Like I mentioned yesterday, today is a move day. We are on the move and we are heading to Yellowstone. More of that in a little bit. All right, so as mentioned, we are on the move. We are leaving Grand Tetons National Park and we're heading over to Yellowstone. Now, when we did our reservations for Yellowstone, there was nothing available, although we did it 10 months ago. There was nothing available in and around the Wyoming side of Yellowstone, which we are currently in Wyoming. So I had to search a little bit on the outskirts. So we are heading to a place called Island Park, Idaho. It's about 11 miles just outside of the west entrance to Yellowstone National Park. Now, what makes this drive, like I always say, we learn something new at every leg of our journey. What makes this drive from Grand Tetons National Park to Yellowstone or to Island Park is that we are actually driving through Grand Tetons National Park. So we are on Highway 191. We actually had to show our America the Beautiful pass again. We are in Grand Tetons National Park right now. This part I'm just assuming, we were just talking about this. We don't know if it connects directly to Yellowstone or you exit Teton and then you enter Yellowstone. But we're driving right through Grand Tetons National Park right now, heading to Yellowstone. And another unusual thing, it's only a 113-mile leg, but it's a 2-hour and 30-minute drive. I guess it's because the whole speed limit inside the park here is 35, 40, 35, 40. It just goes back and forth, which I guess is a good thing because we get to save on fuel too with slower speeds. But that's what we got going today. We're heading over to Yellowstone, and when we arrive, we're going to share everything that we do with you guys. So I like sharing with you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to add another category to that. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the idiotic. So I made an idiotic mistake. Luckily, not going to cost me more than time and mileage. So for those of you guys that are RVers that follow along on my channel, here's a bit of information that we learned the hard way. So when you leave Grand Tetons National Park and you're heading to Yellowstone, it sends you, the GPS sends you through the actual park. Now, because they had the issues at Yellowstone National Park, okay, the entrance to the Yellowstone National Park is controlled by the last number of your tag. So if you have an even number, which we do, you're not allowed to go through Yellowstone on an odd number day, which is today. So if you're connecting the dots, you know exactly what happened already. The only problem is, and I'm gonna, even though it was an idiotic mistake, you know, I didn't know any better. I figured it's a major interstate or a major highway, and the GPS is sending me through that. I figured if you're passing through the park, they would allow you to go through because you're just passing through. But nope, not the case. If you have a even number and you're there on an odd day, they don't care if you're passing through or visiting the park. They will send you around. They will tell you you got to make a U-turn and go around. So we had to leave after about a 45-minute drive in the actual park. We had to make a U-turn, go back basically to the town that we started, Moran, make a right, go through Jackson, go through Teton Pass, whatever, a whole mess just to go around Yellowstone, which basically added or made a 2.5-hour drive. When we're done today, probably is going to come into a 6-hour drive, 5.5, 6-hour drive. So heed the warning. The rules reference the tags, entry, apply if you're just passing through. Well, we learned the hard way, and still, A little bit of a longer drive, but we're still blessed. So that's the update. And we are about another hour and a half away from Island Park, Idaho. Really nothing to see along the drive. Very green state. A lot of open pastures. It's kind of pretty, but that's it. That's the update. All right, so update number 3 on our trip to Yellowstone. We are here. You can see behind me here. Here's our spot for, I think we're going to be here 7 days, an entire week. Because originally we had planned to do both loops of Yellowstone. But as you guys very well know, I've already mentioned it to you, and it's been all over the news. The north loop of Yellowstone is closed because of the roads that got washed out. So, you know, we opted to go ahead and just stay the 7 days here. That way we can do Yellowstone at our leisure, at least the south loop. Now, mind you, we're here 7 days, but we're only allowed into Yellowstone 3 out of the 7 days because we have to go in even number days. So that's the scoop. We're here. I'll flip this around and just show you the campground. We are at a place called Valley View RV Resort. Nothing spectacular, although we got grass, as you can see behind me. That's so far this, you know, in the last couple of weeks, that's been that's an anomaly. We don't really get grass that often, but we got a nice site. We're almost at an end. You can see behind us, but whatever. I'll show you guys. You know, it's got mountains around it. Now, mind you, fuel prices here, unbelievable. $6.39. Yes, you heard that correctly. $6.39 a gallon for diesel. There is not, the nearest Walmart is 46 miles away. Safeway, which is another version of a supermarket or a grocery store over here, is 70 miles away. It's crazy. So we're going to have to make do with what we got. There is a couple little grocery stores inside West Yellowstone that they say have just about everything you need. But that's a scoop. Tomorrow happens to be an even day, and we are going to bring you guys a little footage of our journey through Yellowstone. Good morning. So today is another day here in Yellowstone National Park. We are heading out to Yellowstone National Park, like I mentioned yesterday, because we are an even tag type of family, and today is an even day, so we are allowed into the South Loop. We just had a little surreal moment there for a second. We are technically in a campground called Valley View RV Resort, which is in Idaho, and we just drove, the park is 13 miles away, we just drove like 2 miles, and the sign said, "Welcome to Montana." We didn't even know that. That was a surprise that we were this close to that little tip of Montana, and that West Yellowstone entrance is in Montana. So we are currently driving through Montana, and we are heading over to Yellowstone. I don't really know exactly what we're going to do. We're kind of fighting the weather here a little bit. It said it was going to rain, but whatever we do, we will share with you guys. All right, so yes, we've been in Yellowstone now for a few minutes. I guess this is why we're here. Look at all the buffalo or bison right over there on the side of the road with the little babies. And, you know, you're in their environment. You're in their environment, and they stand where they want. Here's one guy right on the side of the road. That is just absolutely too cool. Absolutely too cool. Right, so the first stop today is a place called Fountain Paint Pot. As you can see behind me, there's a bunch of thermal areas, and we are on a path. All right, I could could have done without the smell. The water is crystal clear, but it's obviously a little warm, but absolutely beautiful. Very clear, as you can see. I hope you can see it in the video. Not sure if you guys can hear it on the video. I'll stay kind of quiet. Basically, a pot on a stove with boiling water in it. Here's the other side. Not sure if it's actually coming out on the video, but again, that boiling sound, this is just to the left of that one that I just showed you. Okay, this is the type that if you stand here too long, you get wet. But look at that guy going.
Oh, here we go again. Oh yeah, perfect.
Come on, give me the ooh again.
All right.
right, so we made it to what I would say or call the granddaddy. We made it to Old Faithful. It is somewhere in that general area back in there. We're going to go check it out. We don't know when. I know that they say that it erupts anywhere in every 90 minutes or so, but we're going to go check it out. All right, so a quick update. As you can tell, I have my hiking hat on. Had to switch to the hiking hat because we're going to do an impromptu hike. Upper Geyser Basin Trail leads to a place called Morning Glory Pool. And the reason we're going to do that impromptu is because when we got here to Old Faithful, it had just erupted 4 minutes before we got there. So we're going to try and do this 2-mile hike and be back in time to catch the next eruption. So far, the first half mile has been all boardwalk over the thermal, the thermal activity, the top layer. So it's all been this type of a hike. Although we're taking a scenic tour off the main hike to see all these side pools. Like this one we're coming up now. Looks very active. This one's gone. Amazing. So we made it to the end of the 2-mile loop, and we reached this. It's called Morning Glory. Unfortunately, because of people throwing pennies, cans, hats, all kinds of stuff into it, it is unfortunately getting the name now called Fading Glory. It's losing its luster, it's losing its color because of all the contaminants. Darn shame. It's still beautiful. And I'll tell you this, because you'll never see it on film, it's hot here where we're at and smelly. Got that sulfur smell. All right, so we finished the 2-mile hike out to the pool that we took you to. Fading pool, unfortunately. And we are now back at Old Faithful. Let's see if she enlightens us with her presence. Fake. There we go. Come on, baby.
Dad, you said you had to too.
Here we go. There's no coming back now. There's Yellowstone for you. Look at that guy. Right there. And of course, we're stopped in the middle of the road. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today is another day here in Island Park, Wyoming, Island Park, Idaho. My bad. Island Park, Idaho. We're a few miles, like you guys know, right outside Yellowstone. Today is another day. Happens to be an even number day. We happen to have an even number tag, so today is another one of those days where we're going to head into Yellowstone and do a few things. I believe the last time we went, which was 2 days ago, we did maybe a third of the park. We're trying to break the loop, the lower loop, into like 3 different parts. So that's where we're going today. We're heading back out to Yellowstone. We're going to do a little bit of sightseeing, might even throw in a few hikes in there, and that's what we got planned. Yesterday we went out to West Yellowstone. I didn't really bring you guys any footage of the place because really there was nothing significant. It was just a small little town, no big deal. But here we go, we're off to Yellowstone. All right, so we've been in the park now for about an hour, and little reality, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a cool thing, and I hope when we get there, I'll be able to share with you guys a little bit of the dash cam footage. But we've been in actual bumper, as a matter of fact, I've had my truck off a couple times. We've been in bumper to bumper traffic for about, 45 minutes now, and I could see it way off in the distance. It's a herd of buffalo in the middle of the street, which is actually surreal. They're huge, and everybody is stopped because it's their home. They do as they please. But hopefully I'll be able to share with you guys a little bit of dash cam video of them when we get closer. But we're still a good ways away. Well, after about, about an hour and 10 minutes, they pulled off the side to drink water right over there. And now they're back on the road, and it just so happens that they're right in front of us. And let me tell you something. I got a pretty big truck, but this is not something I want to mess with. I definitely don't want to get one of them upset. And look at this big boy right here. Good Lord. Again, so we stopped off. This is our first stop. black sand basin. Listen to that. Listen to the boiling water. Wow, look at that one over there called Cliff Geyser. Look at that bad boy go. Look at that. Incredible. This one's called Rainbow Pool. I can see why. Look at these vibrant colors. And all that leads right over there to Rainbow Pool. Look at that. Contrasts, and I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but the actual center, I'll try and zoom in. Look how clear that water is. Another national park with its own with its beauty all on its own, totally different from all the other ones that we've been to thus far. So we made it to West Thumb Geyser Basin. I just showed you guys the picture. This area is actually located almost on the other side. So I've told you that the park is like a figure 8. We're almost on the other side of towards the south entrance of Yellowstone. So this area here, you can walk around. Again, it's the trail is wood platform like this. You can walk around and get a nice look of Yellowstone Lake. So this area has a couple of pools. Here's Bluebell Pool. Off in the distance is Yellowstone Lake. Let's go check that out. Pretty spectacular. This particular pot, thermal pot, you can see the smoke coming off, and then it just drains right here, goes underneath the walkway, feeds right into the lake. Again, another interesting situation here. So that one is boiling or bubbling, and it happens to be right in the middle of the lake. right, so we finally made it to Midway Geyser Basin, which is probably the busiest area here in Yellowstone, because they have one area or one spring is called Grand Prismatic Spring. So we got lucky. It's late in the afternoon. We got a parking space and we're here. We're going to share it with you guys. This area is huge. Don't know which one this one is called. We'll find out now. This one is actually very, very impressive. Very clear water, very blue. Video. It's quite the distance away from the platform, but the colors are spectacular. Good morning. So it is a new day here in Yellowstone National Park. It is an even day, so we are headed back out to the park this morning. Unfortunately, it is our last day to be able to visit the park. We're still here another day, but we won't be able to come because of the tag issue. We had originally planned to be here 7 days and visit the South and the North Loop. We couldn't do it. So yesterday was a down day, which really, we call it a down day because we don't go out exploring and we don't go out and do things. But really, a down day for us is a work day. We end up doing a bunch of stuff around the campground and the camper, which always needs a little bit of maintenance. Matter of fact, that's what I did yesterday. I finished the brake project. If you're into that kind of stuff and you're interested, there's a video up on YouTube. Go check it out on my page. But that's it. That's done. Hopefully it's done, and hopefully I won't run into any more issues with the brakes. But this morning, back to Yellowstone, we're going to do the north part of the South Loop, and we're going to share it with you guys. So the first stop of the day is Gibbons Falls. So not sure which stop this is. We made it to an area called Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, and they have a fall here. They have an upper and a lower. I don't know. Right now we're going to go check out the overlook. However, right as we were entering this area, we had our first bear sighting, which I'll share with you guys. Here is the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone National Park. Again, as always, video may not give you a good perspective. It is quite big and beautiful. So just as in the Grand Canyon, the real Grand Canyon, this also has a North Rim Trail, and that's what we're on right now, which basically just takes you to a couple of overlooks. Hopefully we get a even prettier picture of that fall that I just showed you. This is the view. I hope you can hear me. The water is making a lot of noise. This is the view from the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone's Upper Falls. Very impressive. Wow. Very cool. So what's up? Good morning. It is another day here in Yellowstone National Park, or actually Island Park, Idaho. This is going to be the final clip for this video. We are basically done. It is our last day here in Island Park. Tomorrow, new adventure. We move. We head somewhere else. We're actually going to a place called Garryowen, Montana. We got a couple little things that we want to do there. It's about 50 miles east of Billings. Now, just to give you guys a little heads up, we have reached basically the pinnacle of our season 2. Where we're at now, is the last place that we're going to go west and north. From this point forward, we are now going to be heading back east. Albeit we are on the north part of the U.S. We are up around Montana, like I mentioned. Tomorrow we're going to Garryowen, Montana. From there, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, blah, blah, blah. So we are done with the West. We are now on our way back home. Much to, some sadness, a little bittersweet. We actually love it out here. We've really been enjoying the weather. We've only really had, as far as hot, remember I always tell you we're chasing the weather. As far as hot, we've only really had 15, maybe 20 days where it was really hot. Other than that, we've had beautiful weather this whole trip. We've had a few ups and downs, but you guys know about all those because I share them with you. So this is the last clip of this video, and in doing so, we got two things to discuss. Number one, our final thoughts on Yellowstone National Park, or they're collective thoughts because Myrna and I do talk about it. So Yellowstone National Park, beautiful park all on its own. First time in season 2 that we've actually had the opportunity to experience some wildlife. We've seen some elk here. We've seen plenty of bison, buffalo, bison. We've seen, for the first time season 2, we actually saw 2 bears yesterday. A black one and a brown bear. But finally, we got to see some bears. So our thoughts on Yellowstone. Huge park, a lot of driving. Yesterday, it seemed like it just went on and on and on. And we only did the South Loop. So I'm gonna try and give you guys a little information without sounding like we were disappointed. Absolutely not disappointed. Yellowstone's beautiful park. I will tell you this, from overlook to overlook, or site to site, or things to do to things to do, the area that you traverse, it's just forest on one side, forest on the other. That's all. That there's a lot of that, and then you get to beautiful things to see. But there's a lot of driving where there's really nothing to see other than trees on both sides. Unlike some of the other national parks that we visited, where the drives themselves are very, very scenic. If you're into the foresty type of environment, this is the place for you. They got plenty of that. But that's our thoughts on that. For wildlife, number one. Thus far this season, for wildlife, number one place to go. We've seen plenty of it. So that's our take, or my take, or our collective thoughts on Yellowstone. I hope you guys find that stuff informative. And now the second thing that we want to discuss, since it is our last day here in Island Park, Utah, and we've been here 7 days, it absolutely does qualify to filling in the sticker of Idaho. So that's what we're going to do right now, and we're going to end it. Let's get to it. There it is, guys. Idaho is on the map. It is a wrap. I gotta be honest here. That is coming along just fine. I cannot believe that we have covered that many states so far this season, and we have so many left to go. But that's it. Idaho's in the book. Tomorrow we're off to Montana, even though we've been in Montana on and off for the last few days, traveling through it, going to Yellowstone. It doesn't merit a sticker because we haven't stayed in Montana. Starting tomorrow, we will. New place, and as always, new journey. And we're going to bring you guys along with us.